Mount Sanin from the other side, with the Mediterranean way down below us. And these are men of Lebanon's Christian militias. It's they who have been holding out against the Syrians in Zahle, and it's they too who have held out, despite reverses, at some of their positions on Mount Sanin itself.
A Middle East war in the snow in June. The purpose of our journey to find out how much of the Sanin Ridge was still in Christian hands. As we moved up to forward Christian positions, the Syrians began firing over our heads to pound positions behind us. And if we could see Syrian positions on the next ridge, then that meant they could see us.
We were on the ridge filming Syrian shelling on Lebanese militia positions elsewhere on the ridge when we received a piece of incoming that was far too close for comfort. It was either an artillery shell or a tank shell. The result was that the young Lebanese who had acted as our driver up the hill this morning has been very badly hurt in both arms by shrapnel, and we're now returning at speed to the ski resort that the local Lebanese militia here uses their headquarters.
His name is Jack Khoury. He's 16 years old and has just done the equivalent of his O-levels. He's by no means untypical of the young volunteers whom the Christian cause attracts. The ambulance heads for a hospital on the coast. Casualties have been high on the Phalangist side. They face vastly superior Syrian firepower and, unlike the Syrians, must carefully husband their ammunition resources. Beirut today. The Lebanese civil war at its most familiar and terrifying. A city where armed men use field guns and mortars as casually as New Yorkers use handguns. Beirut, the centerpiece of a conflict where the Syrians once tried to restore a semblance of order, but were then themselves swallowed up in the anarchy. At speed through deserted Christian Beirut. At the wheel, Basheer Gemayel, commander of a more or less united Christian front. But what is he really fighting for?
It's the resistance of a free world and of a free people in front of a barbarian aggression and barbarian oppression and barbarian occupation.
To be realistic, though, haven't you got to come to an accommodation with the Syrians? This, by your standards, giant Arab neighbor. Isn't it essential to reach an accommodation with them?
Well, if I understand your question, it means that you are suggesting us to look to the partition of our country, to give a part of it to the Palestinians, to give another part to the Syrians, to give maybe another part also to the Israelis, and to keep a small part for the free Lebanon where the people can eat and live and procreate, and that's it. Well, my friend, this is exactly what we have been fighting against for 7 years. We will not agree to give any part of Lebanon to anyone, any inch of Lebanon to anyone, and I guess that you as British, you have been teaching us the love of freedom, of peace, of democracy, of dignity, and this is what we are doing here now.
Do you think in your heart you can possibly succeed?
The minute we will start to think that this is not possible, it will become our first defeat, and there is no place for defeat in our hearts. What you saw this morning, and until now I see blood on your pants, sir. What you have been seeing this morning,
Stan Clark's trousers, yes.
Exactly. What you have been seeing this morning is the best proof that people like us will never die and will never lose and will never be defeated.